Joining us with report analysis, DTN lead analyst Todd Hultman. The May WASDE report, our first look at new crop production and ending stocks. And on corn, we were anticipating a bearish number, maybe not as bearish as we anticipated, though.
No, there was some room. It could have been worse. But overall, 3.3 billion bushels of ending stocks in corn is still a very big number. It's the biggest USDA estimate since the 1980s, and it's hard to argue with. We're stuck with a 97 million acre planting estimate left over from the March survey. The demand estimates that USDA is currently using right now is very optimistic, I would say very generous, and that may not prove out over time.
So is it likely that we have put a low in the corn market?
It may be for now. We're seeing some bullish hints of commercials being more actively involved. I like how the May contract is trading above the July. So for the time being, it's very possible that corn prices have been beaten down about as much as they can for now. I'm concerned more about later in the year as we get to know more about what harvest might look like. Those lows in new crop could still give way.
And the soybean ending stocks figure was down around 400 million bushels, which is quite aggressive, isn't it?
It is, and I think there's a couple things that help USA get to that number. Number one, they're still using a planting estimate of 83.5 million acres from March. That may be a little light given what prices have done since that March survey. The other thing is USDA gave a pretty generous export estimate, up over 2 billion bushels. And that's maybe hard to achieve unless we get better cooperation from China.
So we could go up. This could be the lowest mark for ending stocks for the year here.
I think it probably will be. We're going to have to prove that stocks can come down before we can really get too confident about that.
And what about wheat ending stocks and production? Those came in fairly close to trade estimates, didn't they?
Roughly 900 million bushels of ending stocks is still close to that billion bushel mark that we've been stuck on for several years. And actually the demand estimates, I think, in this case were fairly reasonable from USDA. And they're starting out maybe lowballing exports a little bit, but I think that's fair to do on the wheat market.
All right, thanks for joining us, DTN lead analyst Todd Hultman.